get right into it. Let's write some JavaScript. Where are we going to write this JavaScript? Well, we are going to write our JavaScript in the beginning, then we'll move on to a different environment in what is known as a REPL, or an REPL. It's an acronym. So what does REPL stand for? What does the acronym stand for? It stands for read, evaluate, I'll just put eval here, print, and loop. What is a read, evaluate, print loop? Well, it's just a program language shell, or like think of like a console terminal. This allows us to write and execute JavaScript code in real time without having to set up a whole environment for that. So the REPL reads a certain line of code, it executes the code, it prints out a response, and then it just loops that behavior over and over and over again. So all a REPL is a place to write quick and dirty JavaScript code. So the code we write is going to be in plain text, it is going to be line by line, and of course we're going to follow all of the conventions or the syntax of JavaScript. And so with that said, let's open up a Chromium-based browser. I'm using Google Chrome. If you have Brave, open up Brave and hit Control-Shift-J or F12. Now this yellow stuff is just a browser warning. So hit Control-L to clear the console. There we go. Now this right here is the developer console. It implements a REPL, a read, evaluate, print loop, and it uses the V8 JavaScript engine. If you don't know what the V8 JavaScript engine is, watch part 1 of this video. Link is in the description. And so this developer console gives us access to developer tools, mainly the REPL, the read, evaluate, print loop, and a real-time debugger. Now we won't get into the debugger just now. That's for later. Let's write our first piece of code right now. So in the console, we can write, or you can copy and paste the code from the description, but it's one line of code, so just write it. We can write console.log, hello world. Hit enter. Now, the REPL read our line, console.log. It evaluated that line. That line says invoke a function called log, and whatever's in the parentheses, spit out or return it to the console, and it printed out hello world to the console, and then it just loops. It waits for more input. That's what the blinking cursor is. And so this is just a very, 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 very simple example of what or how a read, evaluate, print loop works. Now let's tackle the idea of a variable, which is extremely important to programming. What is a variable? Well, a variable is a changeable or unchangeable, a mutable or immutable stand-in for a piece of data. So basically a word that points to a piece of data in our program. So let's write another piece of code, or you can again copy and paste. Let's go with const my number is equal to 2. Now, what is this line saying? Let's dissect this line here. Let's do copy and paste of our own. What is this one line of code saying? Const my num is equal to 2. What is const? Const is a keyword in Java, and this keyword is used to indicate the scope or mutability of a variable. So right now the const means that once we assign a variable a certain value, we cannot change that value. It's set in stone. So think of it like a permanent marker. Once you write with a permanent marker, you can't erase it, you can't rewrite it. So that's what const means. Now if we wanted to create a variable where we could reassign the value, we'd have to use the keyword let or var, which we'll see in a moment. Now, what is my number? Well, of course, my number is the name of the variable, right? You can name your variable whatever you want except for certain keywords, reserved keywords. If you name it a reserved keyword, you're going to get an error. So obviously we couldn't name our variable const. That word is taken by the JavaScript machine, right? And so your variables must start with letters, an underscore, or a $sign, no numbers. You can't start your variable name with numbers. And so what is the 2? Well, that's of course the value, right? Now this value, 2, is different from this value, 2. If we were to put the value 2 in quotes, we would be assigning our variable a different data type. This data type would be a character or a letter, and this data type is of course a number. So in JavaScript programming, like other programming languages, we have data types. Right now our number 2 is a number data type, If we had the quotes, we'd have a string data type. There are data types called arrays and objects, and I'll do separate videos on arrays and objects later because these guys are really good at manipulating information and they deserve their own videos. But for now, we have the number 2. And then of course we have the assignment operator equals. And the equals tells us that we want the value 2 assigned to the variable named my number, which is a const. Alright, so let's go back to our console, our Google Chrome or Brave console, and let's play with another piece of code. Again, copy or paste, or just write it in. It is one line of code. Let my second number equal 2, or let's go 5. We hit enter. We've now just created a variable named my second number with let, not const, and we're assigning it the value 5, which is data type number. Now let's write down or tell the read evaluate print loop my second number. If you ever assign a variable and you want to know what the value of the variable is, you just type in the variable name, hit enter, and the REPL will print out the value of the variable. So right now we see that the value of my second number is 5, just like we had it. Now let's reassign the value. So let's do a my second number is equal to 1,000. And hit enter. It gives us a response of the value of the variable. Just to make sure, let's enter the name of the variable and we get 1,000 again. And so the my second number value, when we reassign it, we didn't use the word let. When we say let once, we assign or we create the variable. We don't need to create the variable again. We're simply reassigning it. And so the my second number now has a value of 1,000. It forgets about the value of 5. And so this is just an example of the difference between a constant variable or a let variable. You could have done the same with a var. So a var, my second number is equal to 5. Just to be thorough, let's do see this const my number. Let's try reassigning that to a different number. So if we did my number is equal to, let's go 88, and we hit enter, we get an error. We're not allowed to, because we've already assigned a value to our const variable. We're not allowed to reassign the value to a const variable. Alright, well this video looks like it's going to be over 10 minutes, and I don't like making videos over 10 minutes. And so we're going to wrap it up here, because if I get into what I want to get into right now, which is functions and scoping, we're going to be well over 10 minutes. So I know I said this is going to be a 2-parter. It's going to be a 3-parter, guys. So in the next video, we're going to look at functions and scope, and we are going to sum up the last 3 videos. So like, comment, subscribe, share, thumbs up, whatever platform you're seeing this on, vote up, whatever, all that good stuff. I will see you guys in the next one.